welcome you. Welcome back to Langrisser News from the future. So on part 1 of 2 video, we'll be featuring this great milkers. This great songstress. Oh gosh, sorry. This great songstress. Looking at these great figures, it's definitely hard to believe. How do I say it? She is still bigger than Imelda. Yep. Sorry, enough of that. So on this part of the video, we're featuring the talent 3C and exclusive skills for these characters, and on the video we'll be only going through on exclusive skills and 3C only, and only on the demo play we'll be going through all skill sets that she will be given. And yep, watch to the end for the translations that I've done for you guys. Are you guys ready? And before we get started, a very great thanks to information shared and provided by the Langrisser mobile app. So you, alright, let's get started. Yep, definitely. Oops, sorry. Yep, that's better. All right. Okay, now you can get started. So this is the art for Nymph. So apparently she's kind of like either mermaid or siren. You call songstress, a diva for a circus trope that she leads as the leader. Yeah, I guess this is only 90. They definitely got to work on their stats. That's very weird. All right, so let's go through the faction, and congratulations, guys! You finally have an official healer for the Meteor faction. So she's from the Princess Alliance, Yellows, and Meteor. So yep, correct me if I'm wrong, we finally welcome our first official healer for the Meteor factions. So right, her talent are as follow. Is known as Deep Sea Singer or Deep Sea Diva. Definitely go with Diva, sounds nicer, I guess. So right, the talent are as follow. When you have buff, increase her intelligence by 25%. At the start of battle, provide buff to allies 2 blocks around you. Fantasy bubbles. So it's a AoE damage reduction effect. So the effect of fantasy bubbles are as follow. The next AoE damage you take will be reduced by 45%. You have 50% chance to gain a random buff when you end your turn. Alright, and fantasy bubbles can be triggered again when you end turn after using skills for every third times. And do know that fantasy bubbles effect will last for 3 turns. The effects cannot be dispelled and will be removed upon receiving AoE damage once. Sorry, I gotta say, she's definitely not that strong after having some tests played by pro players if you're matching with single targets attack, but she's definitely a great healer, and she has great buff against enemy who are playing AoE damage because she grants allies at the start of the match. So 2 allies who are 2 squares or tiles standing around her will automatically gain this fantasy bubble buff, which will actually reduce incoming damage you take by 45% if you try to combo together with Christiane. And correct me if I'm wrong, she has this Foul Plateau skills. I can't remember how much the reduction is. It's either between 15% to 35. I'm gonna go with the highest 35. It's gonna give you reduction of up to 80%, and if it's only 15%, you still have 60% effect reduction, so that's still a lot. So you receive a 10,000 damage AoE, and now the damage you take is only 4,000. However, it's a one-time effect, meaning your bubble will be burst and lose its effect once you take the AoE damage once, and it only happens every... You can only trigger the skills every third time you use the skills and when you end turn. So you definitely, if you want to recycle these skills, you really got to need or cast a lot of act against skills to trigger all this effect. And also to take note, you gotta have any spare skills to use so you can trigger this. So yep. And I gotta say, they were released together in the event, or they first appeared. She and Tatalia first appeared with the Shining Resonance team in their event. And I gotta say, in just my opinion, that it's slightly a bit sad that Shining Resonance event is kind of like, they're kind of, in just my point of view, the event is kind of like a sacrificial or sacrifice event of the collaboration heroes to bring up this collab, to bring up this spin-off heroes, to try to promote them in a way, because in the Shining Resonance, the strongest hero that is being introduced for the banner apparently is, most people will consider Kirika because of her extreme AoE skills, the damage. She is known as the Leon Killer, so you know how strong she is. And just right 1 month after the banner, they just introduced you Nymph with the ability to greatly reduce AoE, or you can aka address her as you cannot AoE, F off to AoE team. So in fact, the CN site makes some memes about AoE players complaining or cursing and swearing against Zilong. So yep, and the same goes for Tatalia, but that will be for the next part of the video. So alright, let's repeat talent again. So number 1, when you have buff, increase Nymph intelligence by 25%. Number 2, at the start of battle, provide the buff to allies 2 blocks around her. Fantasy bubbles. Fantasy bubble effects are as follow. The next AoE damage you take will be reduced by 45%. Have 50% chance to gain a random buff when you end your turn. And 3, fantasy bubbles effect can be triggered against when you end turn after using skills every third time or every 3 times. Do note that fantasy bubbles will last for 3 turns. This skill effect cannot be dispelled and will be removed upon receiving AoE damage once. So, well, there goes the jokes of burst the bubble. So, yep, upon taking 1 AoE damage, your bubble will be burst and you will not enjoy the benefit. But that is definitely enough for your team to march forward and survive AoE attack. Then, alright, moving to her exclusive skills. So, at her initial path, we already have this. There's a 1C skills. It's known as Tight Dream. And I don't mean that tight dream, I mean tight as in the wave tights. Yep, tight dreams. So alright, this skill is a 1C skills, the CD of only 1, the range is 3, the type is a support skills. So effects are as follow. Heal caster and target ally the HP based on 3 times the caster intelligence. Then 2, gain a 2-turn buff effect of regaining HP recovery based on the caster's 3 times intelligence upon receiving attack damage. The effect is removed upon triggering once. And after casting these skills, the caster will gain this effect, Control Water. if target ally is a water unit, the target will gain this effect too. So the effect will last for 2 turns. So yeah. Here I got to correct myself because I did not reference back to the English translation. The controlled water here is a wrong translation. Is actually the act again skills for water unit that upon casting these skills you can act again, and every place you move or whenever you move, the place that you move or you land on is treated as water terrain. So that's the effect. So she actually buff your allies with the water terrain effect. So that's pretty cool. So you can actually use her with the water team units in PvE team, of course. Or you can just combo with McLean in PvP match. So alright, let's repeat again. Number 1, heal caster and target ally HP based on caster intelligence times 3 times. And number 2, you'll gain a 2-turn buff effect of regaining HP recovery based on the caster intelligence times 3 upon receiving attack damage. The effect, though, is removed upon triggering once. So 3, after casting these skills, the caster will gain control water, which is the act again water skills effect to make you considered to be in water terrain. The effect will last for 2 turns. And if the target ally is a water unit too, the target will receive this buff effect too. So the effect will last for 2 turns. So this kind of speed up of helping her to with a talent to actually gaining buff. So once you have buff, you increase your intelligence by 25%. So that's pretty sweet and cool. And not to mention the cooldown of this skill is only 1 turn. The range is 3. You can cast on 1 target allies, and at the same time you heal both your ally and yourself. So okay, why not? That's cool. I mean, it would be great if it's a AoE skills too, but oh well. You can always wish for the best. Alright, so the exclusive skill 2 on the first path class is known as Dance of Tidal Swirl. So the skill is a 2C. The CD of the skill, surprisingly, it's oh, sorry, yeah, there's one. Okay, sorry, I misclicked it. Apologies. So the CD is 210, the range is 3. Again, the type is a magical single target skill. So she has more single target than, oh no, the new exclusive skill is more towards single target healing or single target damage. So the effect are as follow: deal 1.5 times damage to an enemy. The skill is effective against demon class. After battle, heal allies with the lowest HP on the field based on 4 times intelligence of the caster. So this is definitely one of the higher healing skills compared to the skills that characters like Kreese or Yuria had, which is only 2 times. So apparently they're trying to promote this character, I guess, or make her more useful. And surprisingly, she has 3 exclusive new skills compared to other characters, the usual characters. So I definitely think Zilong like these characters a lot. I mean, I'm mesmerized by her at first sight. So yeah. So right, short and sweet. Let's go through again. The skill as follows. Number 1, deal 1.5 times damage to an enemy. The skill is number 2. The skill is effective against demon class. Number 3, after battle, heal allies with the lowest HP on the field based on the caster intelligence times 4. So, yep, it's pretty good. I'm not sure the stats of her intelligence yet. If it's S, it might not be too bad. If it's A, then this may explain why it's 4 times. Then, alright, exclusive skill tree. Yep, I definitely like characters with more new exclusive skills. It's fun to go with. I mean, this definitely proved that the gaming thing coming up with more fun stuff or game gimmicks. Alright, exclusive skill tree is known as Aqua Dreamscape. It's a 2C skill. It has a CD of 3. The range is 5 blocks. The type is AoE straight line. Oh my god, speak of devil, I just try to tell you guys her skills are all single target, and now I receive a slap on the face. So okay, apparently that's cool. She has AoE skills. So right, this skill as follows: deal 0.3 times AoE damage to enemies in 3 rows of straight lines, then dispel a buff on enemy that you damage, and heal allies in range based on the caster intelligence times 3. Then remove a debuff for allies that got healed. So okay, it's kind of like, okay, this is like a 2C skill or toned down version of Licorice 3C. In case you guys can't remember, Licorice is the younger sister of Ares, and her 3C is blasting the fear around you, and you heal allies and remove debuff from them, and then you give, damage enemies and give debuff to the enemy. So this is like a, I'm not sure if like a power-up version or not, but well, since a 2C version, I'm gonna call it as a power down version, since it's a straight line AoE. So right, but the CD is kind of long, and if you want to spam the talent of a skill, the AoE skills might not be a better choice, but that depends on the team you're playing. So alright, the skill as follows. Let's repeat again. Number 1, deal 0.3 times AoE damage to enemies in 3 rows of straight lines, 3 times 5. Then number 2, dispel a buff on damaged enemies. Number 3, heal allies in range based on the caster's intelligence times 3. Number 4, remove a debuff for allies heal. So okay, it's pretty cool. You get to heal allies and you get to damage enemies. You remove buff from enemies and you remove debuff from allies. So okay, that's pretty nice. So she's definitely going to be quite strong at rank 6. Okay, finally we come to the end soon, which is her 3C skills. It's known as Final Song and Call. So the skill is, the CD of the skill is 5 turns. The range is self. The type is 3 blocks AoE damage only. Okay, it's kind of short. And the CD is 5 turns. That's right. Let's go through. And apparently this 3C, I gotta say, it's amazing. Zilong, apparently, I gotta say, put a lot of effort in this character design and the skills. There will be pros and cons in the skills. Before we go on, I saw a preview of her 3C effect. It might not be just my observations. It might not be applicable for some players with bad eyesight. No offense, because apparently she's the first character that I've seen that her 3C upon casting is kind of giving you this alluring aurora mist effect. Yes, you get a visual effect throughout the whole period when this skill is in fact in the whole map, be it your enemies or your allies. So your screen, your surrounding will have this aurora layering mist effect on your screen. So I'm not sure what the condition is called, but certain people, when looking at such effect for too long, they might get dizzy or they might not be feeling well, and they might want to vomit, this kind of condition. So I'm not sure if this effect will be toned down. Moving on, like there's an option for you to switch off this skills, because apparently one of my friend, when he just checked out the effect, he, after looking for like 3 to 5 minutes, he's telling me that he feels kind of dizzy. So this gives me the feeling that this effect might not be nice for every player. So sorry about this gibberish for a while. Okay, back to the skills. So final song encore. So let's go through. So when using these skills, you gain an additional layer of your talent counter. Then heal allies in range based on the caster intelligence times 2, and then healed allies will gain the effect increase damage by 15% for 2 turns. Then after using these skills, you'll gain the healing effect for 2 turns. When you end turn, heal allies 2 blocks around you based on 2 times your intelligence. Then you will gain buff known as Chan for 2 turns. When enemies on the field end turn, they will gain this it's a chance debuff known as Sleeping or Sleepy. The effect as follows. Upon triggering the effect, or when gaining this debuff Sleeping, they will not be able to take action next turn. The effect will be removed upon taking damage. Okay, do note that Chan effect cannot be dispelled. Before its effect turn is finished, it will trigger to max 4 times, meaning 4 enemies will receive this debuff max. And the closer the enemy is to Nymph, the higher the chance Sleeping will trigger at the max rate of 100% trigger rate. When enemies have Sleeping in effect, they will not gain the effect again. So apparently this is basically just treated as enemies getting stunned, and they will not get repeatedly stunned again. So to be fair, so yep, get bear with me guys, the 3C effect is kind of long, as they're trying to, well, I'm gonna use the word, they're trying to promote these characters and trying to put her as a new A to S tier class of healers. Okay, so the effect are as follows, do bear with me. Number 1, when using these skills, you gain an additional layer of your talent counter. If I'm not wrong, this means that each time you cast your skills, you will treat as you cast an additional skills. So you only need to cast spell 2 times, so your talent can trigger again. Though we need to find out during the demo play. Number 2, heal allies in range based on caster intelligence times 2. And 3, heal allies will gain increased damage by 15% for 2 turns, kind of like similar to Miracle. Number 4, after using these skills, gain the healing effect for 2 turns. So this is only applying to Nymph. When Nymph ends turn, she will heal allies 2 blocks around her based on 2 times her intelligence. Number 5, gain the buff Chan for 2 turns for Nymph. The Chan has the following effects. When enemies on the field end their turn, they will gain Sleeping debuff. The Sleeping debuff are as follows. They will not be able to take action the next turn upon the triggering of this debuff effect. 2, the effect will be removed upon taking damage. Do know that Chan effect cannot be dispelled, and before its effect turn is finished, it will trigger to max 4 times. The closer the enemy is to Nymph, the higher the chance sleeping will trigger at a max of 100% trigger rate. And when enemies have sleeping in effect, they will not gain the effect again. Okay, so I'm going to presume this 3C effect will be lasting for 2 turns only. So I'm wondering if she's equipped with Teddy Bear, will that increase her turn by 1? So shall see or check with any CM Pro that is currently doing test play on her. So if I get a chance. So right, so it's pretty cool. She is considered both a healer, attacker, and a damage reducer. And this 3C is definitely a mass combination of the succubus from reincarnation and the sleep skills of Bozo. So, but of course, to be fair, you can't make it like a free stun that upon you sleep, you can, all of your characters can just whack the enemy, they can't retaliate. So this sleep effect will be removed upon being attacked or taking damage, and that's how it works. But yeah, it's definitely cool that you'll be able to stun enemy for 1 turn. And I'm going to presume that the highest chance 100% trigger rate is when you're 1 to 2 steps away, or two blocks away from Nymph, and the furthest is 5 to 6 steps is gonna be 20%. I mean, it cannot be even further to trigger. That's gonna be like, oh my god, kind of like cheating. But okay, we will find out again if it's how it works during the demo play. Until then, that's it. Hope this video helps. And what do you guys think about the talent and effect of Nymph? Will you guys be saving your takes to summon for her? Leave it down in the comment section below. We'll see you guys on the next part of the video. This is Kami. Remember to like and subscribe, and hope you like, okay, maybe just my opinion, just hope you don't like Nymph and you can like Tatalia, and well, because Nymph is gonna be mine. Alright, goodbye. See you.